Hey everyone, Amanda with JoyFit, and welcome to your lower back release yoga class. We're going to open up our lower backs by opening up our hip flexors, releasing and opening up our hips, and strengthening our cores. So let's get right into it. All right, we're going to start down in child's pose. So knees wide as the mat, toes to touch. Sink your hips back down over your heels. Reach your arms forward as far as they feel comfortable with a nice little stretch there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower your forehead to the ground. And we'll be here for a few breaths. So breathe in and out. And sink your hips down. Start to kind of roll your forehead over the mat. Kind of go side to side. You feel that in your hips and your hamstrings, kind of right at your sits bones. Keep breathing. Keep sinking. Focus your mind and your intention into your body. Focus on your breath. Bring your mind back to the breath when your thoughts start to drift. Great, and I'll have you walk your hands over to the right. Put your left hand over top of your right hand, and you'll feel a nice stretch on your left lat muscle. It's that back muscle right across your armpit, all the way down to your lower back. It's one of the biggest back muscles. Cannot neglect this one. And breathing in and out. Good. And walk your hands over to the other side, to the left side. Reach your right hand on top of your left hand. Keeping your right sits bone down on your heel as much as possible while you're stretching. You can kind of lace your fingers if you have to, just to keep your hands on top of each other. Great job. And we'll go back to the middle for one more breath. Reach, reach, reach. Good. Now we'll come on up to all fours and we'll move into cat-cow. So keep your knees about hip width apart, toes directly behind your knees, hands directly underneath your shoulders. We're not out here. We're not too far back. We're right underneath our shoulders. And as we breathe in, we'll look up, breathe in through your nose, and arch your back and push through the ground. Good. And push through the floor and arch. Pushing your hands through the floor so you can really feel that upper back spread. Good. And breathe in. Keeping your shoulders down and back as well. And out. And in. And out. Great. Now I can kind of just loosen up however you need. Do some hip circles. So come back to center. We're going to go up into downward dog. So we're going to go about one hand print forward. Then as you push into your hands, I will say keep the L right here. So like your finger and your thumb, that needs to be pressing into the ground. Don't let it pop up. Okay, so keep all your finger pads pressing into the ground, and then you push up into your feet and push through your shoulders. And we're gonna pedal out our feet. You might be a little stiff here, so don't worry if it's not your best downward dog. You're just waking up. Pedal out. Good. And sink your heels down and breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Keeping your hands totally flat against the ground. That's going to protect your wrists. Pedal out a little bit more. Good. Now we're going to breathe in as you raise your right foot. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, we're going to bring our knee to our nose and place our foot on the ground in front of us. We're kind of in a bit of a lunge here. Okay. So take a few breaths right here. If you need blocks or pillows underneath you so you can stay nice and straight, go ahead and grab those. Otherwise, we're here. Okay, and we'll bring our hands up to our knee. And I want you to tuck your pelvis under. We're gonna really stretch out that hip flexor. Okay, so tuck your hips under. You can keep your hands on your hips. Breathe in, breathe out, and sink as low as feels comfortable. Discomfort is normal. Sharp pinching pain is not. So if you feel that sharpness, that twingy, that pain, back off. But a little bit of discomfort in a stretch, that's normal. Breathe through it. And try not to arch your back. Really keep that hip tucked under. Keep your abs engaged, shoulders down and back. And if you can sink a little bit lower on each exhale, that's great. If not, just stay in one spot and breathe. Great job. Now use your hands on your knee to push yourself up. And we're going to go back and get the hamstring stretch for the right leg. So bend over that knee there. And take a couple breaths. And as you breathe out, sink low. Try to keep your hips square as much as possible. You're gonna really feel that hamstring. This is a good one. When our low back is tight, those hamstrings need some love. Great job. We'll come on back, hands to the mat, right foot back, and we'll go into a downward dog. Breathe and pedal out. Let's do the same thing on the left side. So breathe in, lift that leg, and tuck your knee, foot in between your hands. Back knee down. Okay, we'll stay right here for a little bit as we start to open up our hips on this side. Kind of move around a little bit. Kind of Feel what's going on in your body. Take notes. Okay, and then we'll breathe in and come on up with either our hands to our front knee or our hands on our hips. But either way, we're keeping our hips tucked under and we're opening up that hip flexor now on the right side. With every in-breath and then every out-breath, we can sink a little bit lower if that's accessible to you. Abs engaged, shoulders down and back, chin up, and breathe out and sink. Don't sway that back. Keep your hips tucked under. Really feel that in that front hip flexor. That's where we're aiming to stretch right now. You might feel your glute of the foot that's in front kind of engage a little bit. That's good. Don't worry, we're going to give our glutes some love a little bit later. Right now, we're really focusing on opening up that front hip flexor. So that engagement is good for keeping your hips tucked under and keeping that stretch nice and open. Great job. Let's push our hands on our knee, push ourselves up. We're going to go back into the hamstrings. So hands on either side, keeping your hips as square as possible. Breathing in. And as we breathe out, sink low. I know this is an intense one, but just try to relax every other part of your body. With the exception of your quad, you can engage your quad. That will help you stretch the hamstrings a little bit more controlled. But everywhere else in your body should be relaxed. Move around a little bit. Great job. Come on back through lunge. Hands to the mat. Press. Let your left foot go back. Go into one last downward dog. Pedal out your feet. Awesome. Let's take care of those glutes. So breathe in as we raise our right leg. Squeeze our right glute to raise that right leg. Don't let all that weight dump into your lower back. Really use the glute when you're raising your leg. And then we're going to bring it forward. Bring your right knee behind your right wrist and your left foot behind your left wrist as close as possible. And we're going to go down into pigeon pose. So if this is as far as you can go, stay right here and breathe. If you can go a little bit further, we'll sink our hip down. Try to touch the ground there. And breathe in. Keep your right foot flexed. That really helps to feel the stretch in that right glute a lot more. And then if it's accessible to you, we're gonna lean forward. So breathe in and lean forward down onto your forearms. Keeping that right foot flexed. Feeling the stretch in that right glute. Amazing job. Let's push on up out of there. We'll go into another downward dog. So brace your hands to the mat. Push through your hands and bring that right foot up. and back to downward dog. All right, use that left glute, squeeze and kick your left heel up. Breathe in. Breathe out, left knee behind left wrist, left foot behind right wrist. And if this is as far as you can go, hold right here, keeping your shoulders out of your ears. If you can go a little bit further, sink your hip down to the ground, keeping that right foot flexed, and breathe. And we'll sink down to our forearms if that's accessible to you. Keeping that foot flexed, kind of moving around and playing with where you feel the stretch the most and the yummiest. Good, and push up on out of there. Hands shoulder width apart to the mat. Push through your hands and put your right foot on the ground and get that left foot back up and into downward dog. Good, and let's come on down to all fours. Do a couple more cat-cows. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and push out. Great job, everyone. Okay, we are going to do a little bit of core strengthening. So a lot of lower back pain comes from weak core. So we're going to take care of that today. Okay, so we're going to start with something called dead bugs. This is a core stabilizer exercise. So it really gets the core stabilizer muscles, which is the really deep core muscles. So when people say deep core, that's what they're talking about. It's the muscles like almost right in front of your spine. So as we're building muscles, think of building a house, right? You need to build the foundation first and then build up from there. So this is what we're doing. We're starting with dead bugs, building our foundation, okay? So you're gonna lie back on your back. Okay, keep your shoulders down and back out of your ears. You're gonna keep your lower back glued to the floor. Okay, I want you to stick your arms straight up and then get your knees kind of parallel to your hands like this. Okay, and it's kind of a pat your head, rub your tummy situation because we're gonna go opposite hand, opposite foot. And that's gonna tap down. As you lower down, really squeeze that lower core because you don't want your lower back popping up. You want to keep glued to the ground, okay? So that's what I'll show you what it looks like. You breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and switch. And it's kind of like a march. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, and go ahead and jump in. We'll do this about 30 seconds. Really squeeze everything as you're doing this. Don't let that low back pop up. It's hard. Almost there. Last one. And release. Shake it out. Reach your arms up to the sky. Awesome. Okay, now roll to your side, push yourself up safely. We're gonna do a couple boat pose holds. So last core strengthener here. So a couple different ways you can do boat. You can be here with your feet down. You can be here with your feet up and your shins parallel to the ground, knees bent. You can be here, legs the same but arms up. You can straighten your legs and keeping your hands down or up. That's the hardest one. Okay, so I will let you decide which boat pose you want to do, and we're going to hold it for 30 seconds, okay? So I think I'm going to go with legs straight, arms straight forward. And breathe. And if you have to switch halfway and change your mind, come up here, come, here, wherever you need to go. And you can tap down and come back right into it, okay? 20 more seconds. You got this. The shaking is normal. It means something's working. Keep your shoulders down out of your ears. Go a little lower if you can. And release. Woo! Stretch on out. All right, great job. Roll over to your side and push yourself up. We're gonna go back into another hip opener. So we're gonna just do what's called figure four. A couple different ways you can do figure four. You can do it seated with your arms behind you, and you take your, let's say we'll start with our left leg. Just place that right on top of your right knee. Try to keep your knee as parallel to the other knee as you can, but if you're here and that's as far as you can go, that's okay, just sit there and breathe. But the goal is, as we progress further, to get that knee lower and lower. So as we breathe in and breathe out, try to sink that knee down, okay? So you can do that right here, or we can do it on our backs. So just lie down, left knee over right knee. Sorry, left ankle over right knee. Then you can thread your hands through and grab either the back of your right thigh or the front of your right shin. And we breathe in. And as you breathe out, you pull down. Again, trying to keep that knee down as much as possible, and parallel to your other knee. But again, if you're really tight and you're up here, that's okay. Just hold it as much as you can. Okay. So go ahead and choose your variation. We'll be here for a few breaths. Amazing. Go ahead and bring your right foot back down to the mat and followed by your left foot. Okay, kind of windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Good, and let's go to the other side. So we'll take our right ankle, place it on top of our left knee. Thread your hands through back of the leg here, or in front of the shin on the left side. I kind of like to use my elbow to keep my knee down. That kind of helps. If that's not accessible to you, you can use your hand. Just kind of play with it and do whatever feels good. Just keeping your shoulders down out of your ears. And of course, if you're doing the seated one, go ahead and do that. Couple breaths here. Sink low as we breathe out. Great job. Lower that left foot down to the mat, followed by the right foot. And go ahead and keep your feet hip width apart and windshield wiper those knees. Wonderful. Let's get a little supine twist in. So we'll start with the right leg up, left leg straight out. Okay, and we will take our right hand, grab our right knee, and pull it towards our right armpit as we breathe in. And don't let your left hip pop up like that. Keep your left hip and glute glued to the ground. Same with your left shoulder. Try to keep that down as well as we're lowering down our right knee. Good, and we'll take our left hand on top of our right knee and kind of shift your hips over to the right a little bit so that you can get on top of that left hip as we go into a supine twist. So we're gonna pull that right knee down to the ground. Only go as far as you can go without pinching or pain. If you need a bolster or a pillow under your knee to rest it, go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, we're gonna go as low as you can, and then keeping that right shoulder glued down to the mat. I like to do goalpost arm down here, kind of get a little chest opener as well, but you can also just kind of rest it down to your side, whatever feels good, okay? And then we'll also look with our head to the right side and get a full spinal twist. And we breathe in. As we breathe out, we sink lower into it. Be here for a few breaths. Just let your body fall and relax into it. Good job. We'll take that left hand, guide our right knee back to center. Bring your hips back to the middle. And shake out your legs. Okay, let's do the other side. Let's use that left hand to guide that left knee up. Right hip and glute stay glued to the ground. Right shoulder stays down as we breathe in and breathe out and pull that left knee towards your left armpit. Okay, now we'll take our right hand, guide our left knee over to the other side as we shift our hips over so the side of our right hip can be on the ground. Bolster, pillow, or block under your knee if you need. Keeping your left shoulder glued to the ground. And left arm either down, out to the side, goalpost, whatever feels good. And we'll breathe in and breathe out and sink down. And then with your head, we will look to the left side. Full twist, full spinal twist. Relax your body into it. Amazing. We'll look forward. Use that hand to guide the knee up. Shift your hips back to the middle. And shake out your legs. Final posture, we'll go into happy baby. So whatever is accessible to you, if you can grab under your knees and pull, we want to try to keep our hips and glutes down. If you can reach your shins, pull those down. That's great. Or if you can reach your feet and that's accessible to you, or peace finger your big toes, those are your options. Do whatever feels good. A couple breaths here. If you want, you can straighten one leg, straighten the other, straighten both at the same time. Just keep your glutes down. We don't want you coming up like that, okay? So just stay right here. Good deep breaths. Visualize your breath going down to your lower back. You can rock side to side. Good job. And slowly guide your legs down. Final resting pose, Savasana. So keep your shoulders down and back out of your ears. Hips tucked under. Palms face up. Let your toes fall out. And breathe and sink through the floor. Drink lots and lots of water today. I wish you happiness and healing. Have a blessed day.